Before sunrise, one cow hangs back from the feed with her head low, and that single detail is enough to put you on alert. You head across the farm on the quad while the light comes up, already running through the jobs that can't be missed. First, you feed the house cattle and watch the barrier for any animal that still refuses to come forward. Before milking, you walk the parlor and check the equipment, floor, and stalls, so small faults don't become a problem halfway through. You attach the milking clusters carefully, working cow by cow while keeping an eye on comfort, hygiene, and anything unusual. Once the parlor's running, the job becomes a steady rhythm of milking, observation, and keeping the line moving calmly. Afterwards, you record yields and flag any cow whose production or behavior looks different from normal. Then you scrape out the dirty passages because clean housing is part of keeping the herd healthy, not an optional extra. Fresh bedding goes down before the cattle settle again, turning a messy shed back into a dry resting area. By late morning, you move hay bales into position so the next feed is ready before the cattle need it. You check and top up water troughs, because feed is useless if the animals can't get enough clean water. Out in the field, you walk the crop and grass margins to see what the weather has actually done, rather than trusting a forecast. You kneel to check soil moisture and crop condition, deciding whether the ground is ready for the next job. Then the sky darkens, and suddenly, the weather becomes the most important piece of machinery on the farm. Back in the office, you reshuffle the day's jobs around the forecast, deliveries, and the work that still can't wait. You load the fertilizer spreader with the amount planned for the field, checking the setup before leaving the yard. You spread fertilizer in controlled passes, watching the field edges, and making sure the machine is doing what you expect. When the job is done, you wash down the equipment and clear residue before it dries onto the machine. A damaged fence post is next, because one weak section is all livestock need to find the wrong side of a field. You bring young calves into the handling area for routine vaccinations, keeping the process quick and calm. Each calf is tagged and recorded so you can match the animal in front of you to the farm's paperwork later. Then you notice a cow favoring one foot, and another routine check immediately becomes a health job. You restrain her safely and treat the foot according to the problem you've found, watching for signs she needs further veterinary attention. Later, you move cattle through the race one at a time, using gaits and steady pressure rather than rushing them. A small group due to leave is loaded onto the livestock trailer with the floor, gates, and space checked before departure. You watch the lorry pull away, knowing the animals are gone, but the work they leave behind isn't. The empty trailer is cleaned thoroughly before it's used again, because disease prevention starts with ordinary jobs like this. With the weather briefly holding, you take the mower out and top rough grass before it gets away from you. Cut grass is then raked into tidy rows so the next machine can collect it efficiently. You bale the grass while watching the sky, because every dry minute now matters. The finished bales are wrapped quickly to seal the forage before rain can spoil the crop. You stack the wrapped bales neatly in the yard where they can be stored without damaging the plastic. Then the rain arrives hard enough to stop fieldwork completely, proving how quickly farming plans can collapse. Water starts backing up near the yard, so you clear a blocked drain before the flood reaches the buildings. While you're doing that, a pipe joint bursts and gives you another repair before the first problem is even finished. You check the shed roof for leaks as rain hammers down, marking another job that can't be ignored for long. With the storm easing, you bring the sheep closer to shelter and count them as they come in. You put out their ration and watch the flock settle, checking that weaker animals can still reach feed. At sunset, you make another pass around the farm, looking for anything that changed while you were busy elsewhere. The cattle get their final feed, and you pause long enough to make sure the cow you noticed at dawn is still eating. One by one, gates are shut, doors are secured, and machinery is left safe for the night. Inside, you sit down with the day's records and tomorrow's jobs, because the paperwork keeps going after the yard goes quiet. You're exhausted, but seeing the animals settled and the urgent jobs finished gives the day a kind of satisfaction that's hard to explain. You set the alarm for 4:30, knowing the farm will need you again before most people are awake. Could you live with days this physical, unpredictable, and relentless? Tell me in the comments, and subscribe to choose whose life we live next.